All right. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Tomboy Official. Back in the car. Got some PTO this morning. So, I'm attempting to drive down the street to get rid of this slight headache off of pretty much one margarita. They're pretty sugary. But I woke up with a little headache. So the cure is hydration and, a little bit of not such a healthy meal. Need a lot of fat and oil. It's a terrible idea, but for me it works. It works either to get, there's some Mexican food places I love to have, I think I'm not quite hungover, but I would say my after drinking favorite food is enchiladas, for sure. Like enchiladas in the morning. Oh, just so amazing. I'm just gonna grab a McDonald's combo. Like I mentioned, maybe not the absolute best of ideas health-wise, but I had a hydration pack. I'm still working on it. They're kind of hard to drink because they're salty, but I'm having a hydration pack. I'm going to be super overly salted and overly oiled this morning. But, I woke up with a little headache. My own fault, my own doing. Am I surprised? No. Dang. These kids just run off of this overpass here. This is the time of day. Looks like they might have a late start or something along those lines for the local school. I'm so happy I decided to take PTO until noon this morning, because going out last night and then trying to wake up and work at 8 o'clock. I woke up, kind of naturally started feeling more awake a little bit after 8 a.m. I don't know what time I went to bed. Maybe it was midnight, maybe it was 1 a.m. I really don't recall what time I went to bed, but it was not too much sleep. And I feel a little tired, but it's nothing that a little fast food followed by a little bit of coffee can't help. So I'm gonna have a little fast food with a little coffee. But yeah, so I'm starting to take these vitamins as I talk about this fast food. I started to take these vitamins. I could go through and read what's in them. And I'm gonna try it for 60 days, see how I like it. I don't think I'm getting enough vitamins. I'm pretty sure I'm not, but today my energy is better than usual. I'm not really in a grumpy mood, so definitely, for sure, I definitely needed to just get out, so I think I stay in too much because it's easy to do, it's cheap to do, it's free to do, and I think I'm kind of kidding myself because I don't like it. I'm kind of weird when it comes to money. I'm kind of noticing this because before, most of the poor choices involving money were kind of more oh, I don't want to pay more expensive rent, so I'll live with these wild ass people and who are always having their own form of breakdowns, and I'll just deal because the rent is like so freaking cheap. And I found out that wasn't good. That's not a good method to try to keep a balanced life. But for sure, I'm definitely kidding myself. I mean, the thing is, I make money, right? So, I mean, I'm not like rich, but I'm not like so bad off that I need to be like scrimping so hardcore. I don't know. I don't really think I like really fully yet trust myself financially, if that makes sense. Like, I do have some, I'm pretty sure it's either biological kind of impulsivity spending tendencies. I've definitely noticed I've got some of that in me that I've either learned from family or just kind of, it's kind of like, so some certain patterns I'd say that I've learned or noticed or developed, or maybe it's like genetic. Definitely having the patterns of like, when I'm overstressed, I either pretty much shut down and disconnect, or I kind of go too hard in the other direction. And, so that's where, I'd be likely to go out and spend. Like, I'm not really like buy a bunch of clothing, buy a bunch of, like everybody kind of has their thing, but I'm more of like a go out and like buy stuff. And so like expensive hobbies that I do have are like concerts and, concerts and, like snowboarding. But I mean, I do that pretty much the cheapest way possible, as far as pre-sale everything, and I kind of know how to make that work, as long as I plan it on time. But everything adds up, the gas, the Ubers, the food, if there's a hotel, parking, all that kind of stuff, it all adds up. And so concerts, even a cheap concert for like $25 can still add up if you count all the gas, what you pay in parking. You're probably going to eat when you're there, or not. Like, you might buy a drink or something. Like, there's always something, but it's not, what I'm trying to get at is that it's not cheap. It's not a cheap hobby. But then I feel like I've been lately kind of sacrificing, doing bigger things, like going to bigger events, not bigger, but like trying to just do like big events like once a month or once in a while. But then like until that time, I'm basically just like, okay, like when's the date coming when I'm gonna do the other plans that I have coming up? Like, I feel like all the monotony throughout the week and just the kind of things I don't appreciate about my current job and all that kind of stuff just kind of like, isn't really getting, like, my energy isn't really getting replenished from having to deal with all those things. I'm kind of just dealing with them for the sake of saving money so I can spend on other stuff that, like entertainment wise. But I do think I need to probably get out more. Like, it's just my nature. Like, I've talked about it before. Like, I grew up going out a lot, like I was never home. Like, as a kid, we were never at home all day, every day. Like, since 2020, this is like a new thing for me to be home so freaking much. Like, I've never considered myself a homebody. I'm not really a party animal, but I just like to get out. I like a fresh environment. I find it stimulating. I find it interesting. I find it fun. I get new ideas. I meet new people. My gears in my brain get turning a little bit more on different things other than whatever the heck my own self decides to kind of think up on its own. And usually, overall, I'm having a much more pleasant time. But I mean, I really don't think I need to save money that bad. I just think I need to be less impulsive with it. Like, I do, like honestly, if I would have just had a payday, I might have paid like that $120 worth of Ubers last night, just to drink more and go out, and probably would have paid more for everything. Even though it was cheap food, cheap drinks, I would have paid more. Yeah, I don't think I paid for anything though, honestly, because somebody else was actually buying our drinks, but and someone else got the food. So, and I asked them how much they wanted, and nobody really seemed like they wanted somebody to pay them back. So I was like, "Yo, tell me how much, I'll Venmo you," kind of thing, and no replies. So. And I don't really even know how to pay these people because I don't really know them all. So, like, I asked a friend that I know who knows them, and they just said kind of forget about it. So I'm like, okay. Like, so basically it was a free trip. I mean, I'm not like banking on having free trips or like expecting that of anybody by any means, but of course I'm gonna appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this food. I'll get back about the vitamins and things. This isn't like the best of food choices, but I think I'm not really gonna eat lunch either. So I'll probably eat like a little snack if I'm gonna go to the gym after work, or work out after work. But we're off to a good start. It's weird on a weekday not starting the day yet, so this is kind of like a vlog style podcast episode. But alrighty, I gotta get in, eat some stuff. Probably just gonna keep watching some of the Real L Word, just because that's what I want to watch, and then I don't work for another 2.5 hours, so I'm kind of chill. I was debating if I was going to get some exercise before work, but I'll see how I feel by like 11 maybe. Alrighty. Alright guys, so transferring my location to outside, getting some sun. Just before 11 a.m., the sun shines directly into where I park my car, so I can nicely sit in the sun in my driver's seat and just kind of chill. So that's kind of nice. But I said I was going to post a little bit about some of the supplements. So I'm just gonna read what is in it. So let me see. It says, so as far as other ingredients, it says gelatin, bovine. So I think that's from an animal, right? Vegetable, magnesium. I am so bad at reading this kind of stuff. Stearate and silicon dioxide. Vitamin B6, folate, biotin, zinc, copper, pantothenic acid. I've never heard of that. Catalase complex, horsetail stem, saw, palmetto berries, paba, no, L-tyrosine, plant sterols, nettle root, 4-to-1 extract, cholera. No, that's not the right. That's not right. chlorella extract, faux Thai root powder, barley grass juice powder, and the other one, ingredients. This one's got some sugars in it. They're gummies. Glucose syrup, sugar, dextrose, pectin. I can't really read it all too well. Has a bunch of flavoring because they're gummies that are multiple flavors. So lemon flavor, orange flavor, cherry flavor, blah blah blah. Carnauba wax. I can't read. Like, I took a picture of the bottle, and so it's kind of like slanted to a point where I can't really read. Purple carrot juice concentrate, beta carotene, and then it has sugars. It's got 5 grams of sugars. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of high calorie. It's like 30 calories. Vitamin C, vitamin E, D, biotin, sodium. I can't really swallow pills, so I like having a combo of gummies and just like pills. Not pills, but like, I guess they're capsules technically. But I'm starting there. I'll see in 2 months if I'm noticing any kind of differences. I don't know. I'm just gonna take them. I don't really know what more to say about that, but yeah, just trying something new. And I definitely need to be getting more sun. Like, I'm really not getting enough sun. I'm lacking in sun. I'm lacking with cardio. Like, I'm more into like strength training, body weight exercises. That's kind of more my vibe, than just like running, walking, that kind of stuff. Like, I like hiking, but you know, I just like, my cardio game is weak. So I do need to kind of pump that up more, but I've just been kind of lazy on it. But I'm getting there. You guys can probably hear that, you know, with what I post, that I am doing some workouts. I'm just not, I'm not fully daily consistent, but, you know, I can definitely get to a point where I'm consistent. And I'm recording this after the fact, so I started recording this episode 2 days ago, and then recorded one in between, and now, you know, so since that point I've had a workout. I thought that workout was really well. It went really well. I didn't do exactly what I had set out to do. I was gonna go on that one pre-core, the one that I was explaining, that type of elliptical that's not like the classic elliptical, the one that kind of has a little more natural movement to it for your legs. I wanted to get on that one because I find that the resistance on that one is a lot better. But I didn't stay on it too long. I mean, the elliptical I was on, it was like half broken. Like, that's another thing. Like, the gym where I go, like, the most hasn't really replaced a lot of its stuff. There's a lot of shopping centers. The city that I'm in has so many shopping centers. This time of year is just so lame because of that reason. And so the way this city is set up is that there's shopping centers, like plazas. Everything's in a plaza. So if you're trying to go to, say, like a Denny's, it's in a plaza. You know, the gas station, it's in a plaza. Like, everything's in a plaza. And because everybody's shopping everywhere, and there's stores everywhere, and everywhere you want to go is in a plaza. So the gym is in a plaza, and then the other gym is in a plaza across the street from the mall. And so it's like, worst places to be during like Christmas shopping if you're trying to avoid the Christmas spirit. Um, this year I'm literally just doing what I want for myself. I'm trying to keep it basic, keep it simple. But literally I'm just doing what I want to do for myself. I'm not gonna try to do more or make some extra kind of stuff with work. I'm doing the minimum there. Minimum as in doing my job well, but, trying not to drain my energy and go too far above and beyond because it's not a necessity. I'm just trying to do what I need, conserve energy where I can. And definitely my sleep is off still too. My sleep has always been off for my whole entire life. So I probably need a better CBD supplement, in all honesty. I like the gummies, but I'm really trying to cut back on sugary stuff. And if you're having a gummy every day, it's it's just candy every day. It's I don't really think that, I don't know if that really impacts me, but it kind of seems a little counterintuitive. It's I'm gonna try to sleep, but put a little bit of sugar in my body before I try to sleep. To me, that just seems a little bit I don't know. And for my edibles, I switched to the Pro Tabs. But they don't have any CBD in them, which I wasn't aware of. I don't like just straight indica because it's I don't know. So I prefer the vape pen to the edibles, even though the edibles, the Pro Tabs don't have sugar. They're not 100% organic or natural. They're basically pills that you dissolve in your mouth, but they don't taste yummy. They don't taste sugary or good. They taste like medicine, basically, the chalky kind of medicine. But they're so small too. They're really tiny. They're they're smaller than an Altoid. I don't know. They're smaller. There's a type of breath mint that they remind me of those, mini breath mints. They're really small. They're really strong, so you have to break it into half or four. I break them into fourths. That's about 7 milligrams, which is still a lot for me. And so with a fourth of one, they last for a long time, but we'll see. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't have any edibles last night, and so, I think it was helping to combat some of the fogginess this morning, maybe, but also I don't really know, but it has helped, waking up to the tea times, having my daily tea time blog recordings. My gosh, we got the trucks, we got the traffic. It's noisy when I get outside. We're right on the highway, so it's loud outside, but it's pretty nice. In the house, it's not that loud, honestly. You guys hear the sirens and motorcycles and all that, but it's not too bad when I'm indoors. I just needed some air, needed some fresh air, just some fresh daytime air, some shining sun. I don't see a cloud in the sky. Yesterday was super cloudy. I don't see any clouds, but I know these storms are rolling in because I checked in the mountains and it's going to be snowing this weekend and next weekend. So I'm kind of looking out for that, but I don't really know. It's hard to really, I'm taking some days off. I'll do some reevaluating tonight, hopefully, and see kind of how I'm going to plan out my days. Initially, when I took these 2 Fridays off, I was I'm going to go to the mountains. And now I'm I don't really know. I might just go to the beach. I I don't really know about the mountains right about now. It doesn't, I don't know, like, I want to be able to make the most of it, and I don't want to go and just do like 2 or 3 laps and just call it a day, like with all that driving and effort and gas and having to book a hotel and stay multiple nights and stuff. Like, I try to make the most of it, so I want to at least have the energy, and strength physically to be able to go do it. I think this year my head's in a better mindset, far better than what it was last season. Last season I hit some kind of weird wall, where I was just, I've never had any experience related to athletics similar to what I had last year. Like, it was very kind of eye-opening. I was just like, what the F? Like I was literally, like, in the hotel. Like, I don't remember. Like, there was one time that I went up maybe, like, 3-4 days in a row or something to the I was at the hotel for maybe 3-4 days, with plans to go to the mountains maybe 3 of those days. So let's say it was 4 days, but 3 days in the mountains. And I remember there being one day where I was just, like, trying to get it together, and I was like, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go. And I woke up and I was like, just not feeling this, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to sleep, and I'll go at like 11 and get there, like, I'll be on the slopes by noon. And I just wasn't feeling it, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get up, and instead of going to the mountain, I was like technically in the mountains, but like instead of going to the resort, I'm just gonna go to the hike that's like right around like the next exit off this highway, and I'll just go over to that exit and go roam around in nature a little bit right off the highway. And I just wasn't feeling that either, and I was just like, what is wrong with me? And I was just like, I'm sitting it out. I'm just gonna sit today out. And I think I set out the next day too, and I was just like, what the F is going on? Like, I literally drove all the way up here. I mean, I did snowboard, but I didn't snowboard every day that I had planned to go to the resort to snowboard. And I was like, this is just not like me. Like, that's not normal for me. But it was a crazy year. So I don't really know if that was in 2021 or early 2022, but I was just like, dude, like, this is sucky. And it just, like, I don't know, it was all in my head. Like, it wasn't, like, I know physically I was, kind of banged up from the first day I went. And I mean banged up, like, I didn't even fall, but I had pulled a lot of muscles and, just had a lot of pain. But I was just like, all I did that day was wake up and do some stretching and yoga. And I was like, yeah, so I set out, I want to say it was 2 days. I don't know. I recorded about it somewhere, but I was like, dude, this is not like me. Like, I was just kind of like frustrated with it all. Just kind of like, why the heck did I not do it? Like, but that's just what happened. Like, it was like a weird year. I mean, snowboarding's not easy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like it's like, okay, like, just put on the board and like, just go. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, you're in the snow, you're on a mountain, there's people everywhere, there's, it's a little stressful. Like, it is a little bit stressful. The driving, and then having to have energy to drive, and then like the altitude, and the weather, and just having all this gear on. And then every so often I have like new gear. Like last season I had some new boots, and I was just like getting used to those, and they felt good. They felt like way better than my other ones, but they felt different. So it's like getting used to that. And then the terrain was all like effed up. Like there was like puddles in places, and like I was like trying to dodge like freaking like branches and dirt patches and mud and people. I think somebody had yelled at me too, and I think that's what kind of got to me. Like, there was this person, where I was kind of coming. It was like a bunny slope, like the bunny slope area, and I was trying to like practice some just kind of some stances, and like, you know, this person on skis comes down, and like I could tell they were like a newbie, and I was just trying to get my balance, but like I completely had control over what I was doing. I was going like slow. And when you're like not used to the slopes, like when you're going slow, you feel like you're going fast because you are moving, but you're like, I saw her coming towards me, and I knew she was going really slow, and so I was like, well, I can move faster than that and get out of her way if she keeps coming my way. And so I was kind of going, like, I did like a bit of a maneuver that was like just kind of carving kind of out of the way. Like I kind of just switched, but in the process of like switching, because I knew what I was doing, she was coming towards me and was just like kind of like, it wasn't like a friend, like, you know how, like, I don't know, like on the slopes usually people are friendly. There's like a respect, like people are respectful of one another usually, and that's probably the first time that I had somebody that I felt like was being like disrespectful. Like I've never really had that experience. It's kind of like almost like if you surf and you're out in the ocean at the beach, like there's like a level of respect that people have for one another. It's just kind of the same culture translates, especially with snowboarding, because people are freaking, like, a lot of the people in Southern California who snowboard are from like surfing culture. Like it's the same freaking people most of the time. And so that I don't know if that's what got to me, but it was just kind of the combination of things that was just real weird. And that wasn't the last time I went up. I went up another time after that and had a great time. So at least I ended the season well. And then I was supposed to go to Mammoth in April and had to deal with the funeral and all this other stuff and just didn't make it up. But yeah, like it was a weird season. It was the weirdest season I ever remember having. And definitely a mental challenge. Like I usually just don't even think. I'm just like, yeah, let's go. It's snowing. We're going, you know. And usually I'm like used to having like a crew that goes up. Like I was pretty solo last season. I don't think I went up at all with other people last season either. I think I went up just by myself every time I went up, which is fine. I love going by myself, but I think that was the first season I had a complete solo season, so I don't really know. But anyways, I gotta get back to this work meeting because it should be over soon, and I gotta get these posts up. So with that, hopefully you guys are enjoying, and thanks for listening.